Where do you typically play at?
Well, I haven't played in a course in years. I used to go to Pebble Creek all the time before that closed.
Yeah.
I always liked that one because it's nice and wide open. And
Yes, absolutely.
did they ever start doing anything with that, or?
I don't know. I mean, last I heard they were selling it, and then I think some kind of flood came through there, and they couldn't sell it for homes. So I don't know what they're really doing with that.
Yeah, I used to like that course.
Now, Dale, where do you live at?
Wesley Chapel, Middle Point.
Okay.
Isn't there a course up island somewhere? Is there a course up that way?
Yeah, well, there was Silverado.
Okay.
Unfortunately, due to the hurricanes that came through here last year, it's been closed for a bit.
All right.
And then further on down the road, up there almost towards State City, is Scotland Yard.
Okay.
Is another one, and then the other one that's kind of closed right now, I think that's over here on Chansey, is Southport Springs.
Okay.
So we've got a few options, just not as many as we used to.
Yeah. Is Heritage Isle still a public course?
Yes, yes. A few courses we have left. Okay, now it's warming up. Why don't you give me about two more here, and then we'll kind of discuss a few things. Good. Very good. All right, so let me ask you this. With your lower irons, like pitching wedge, 7-iron and stuff, it doesn't seem too much to go too far out to the right on you, but when you get to the higher clubs, I bet it really starts to exacerbate, doesn't it? Okay. Let's kind of take a look here. So, first thing I kind of see, and we'll kind of come on in here to the screen here real quick, is that we've got an extremely weak left hand. Okay, so I want to get that left hand in a better position. Okay. The other thing that I kind of notice here a little bit here with the 7-iron is I think we're playing it a little bit too far back in our setup. Okay. So here's the thing: if I've got the ball too far back in my setup, I have to get my chest back behind it to hit it. And then what happens is, as I come through, I usually have an open club face, and that's going to be even more exacerbated when I start to go up higher in my clubs. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Gonna take a look at the overall movement here.
The weak arm makes sense too, because I don't get much distance like somebody, oh, and I use a 5-iron. So I really probably need to use a 3 or something, because I don't get as much distance.
Correct. So I'm gonna run like a little experiment on you, and so you get a good feel for that.
All right.
Okay. So as we kind of take a look here at the overall movement. Okay. So the other thing I kind of notice here a little bit is that we've got a little bit of a deep turn, so our hands are getting a little bit too far behind us a little bit, and we're not really creating a good wrist hinge to set. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now the other thing we can kind of see here, okay, and I know I keep just giving you the negatives.
That's what I want.
All right, but we got a little bit of a lateral slide here too. So as you kind of see, right there.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's kind of killing our consistency right there, right? So if we were to kind of say, hey, here's my head right here, right? And then the eyes move over here and then back on over a little bit, it's really tough to get that consistent strike that we're looking for. And how we can kind of tell that is our low point isn't very low, okay? We'd like to see the low point just after the ball, okay? Yours is kind of neutral or before, okay? Good job on the follow through, no chicken wing right there, that's good. Coming up to a good firm side right there. Okay.
All right.
Any questions of what you
No.
see right there? Okay. So first things first, we're going to work on the grip. Okay, get a good feel for that. Okay. Then we're going to kind of work on a little bit of the takeaway, getting your hands or wrists to set a little bit earlier so you can create a little bit more leverage with the club. Okay.
All right.
Get your arms a little bit more out in front of you, hopefully, when we do that drill. And then give you a drill to kind of feel what your hips need to kind of do a little bit so you start to rotate in a better manner.
All right.
Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Any other questions?
No.
All right. So I want you to go ahead and set up for me like you would to a ball. Go ahead and take your regular grip. Okay. Now I want you to take your right hand off for me, please. And I want you to just lift up with just your left hand. Lift the club up in the air. So like this, up in front of you.
Oh.
Yes, sir. Okay. So try to hinge it up just with your wrist. Okay. Does that feel a little awkward?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a different wrist position here. So I'm going to grab a little club here, a training club. Okay. So you get a good feel off the start. Okay. Go ahead and put that down. And put our hand in here like this. There we go. Thumb just on the side. So this is a kid's training club, so we're not going to try to put it on the ground here, okay? But I want you to just put it here and then lift up with your, okay? Do you feel the pad of your left hand now on top of that club right now? So
Yeah.
you can use that as a counterbalance?
Yeah.
Okay? Try to keep that thumb on there. There you go, good. Okay? Does that feel different than what you were doing before?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, good. So now we've got our hand in a better position to be able to control that club. Okay? So remember, the downswing's controlled by the left hand.
All right.
Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so let's bring in that right hand now. Good, good. So you feel how much more, we'll even get this hand just a little bit over for me. There we go, good. Okay, good. You feel how much more that left hand's on top now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now you can control the club with a little bit more aggression. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's do this. Let's do this together. Okay, so we're gonna come on over here. Oops, sorry. Come on over here together. Okay, stand right next to each other. Stand right there. Okay, so how we're gonna do this, we're gonna take our left hand, we're gonna put it in our fingers just as so. There you go. So there we go. Let me help you out. So you take this, we're going to put it in our fingers. Go ahead and wrap your fingers around that. There you go. Okay, thumb on the side. Okay, feel how that pad's over top
Yeah.
now? Now we're going to take this guy, shoot him out, bring him on in, and lock. There we go. Okay?
Yeah, because I was always up more here.
Uh-huh.
So it should be more in the fingers.
Correct. So now you're
Right.
feeling the fingers and not in the palm.
Yeah.
Right? Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So that's going to give your wrists a lot more action to be able to do the motion that we're trying to go for.
All right.
All right, so we're going to take this hand off real quick. Keep that hand in a good position. Let him come on down here. Now hinge up and down for me, please. You feel how much easier that is
Yeah.
for us? Now you've got control of the club,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so remember, with the left hand, a few things that we want to remember is to keep it in the fingers, right? And have that pad over top, okay? So that's going to be a big one for us right there, okay? Because that's changing a lot of the way you...
Completely different than I did it.
Correct. So, yep, feel on the fingers, and then feel like this is over top. There you go. Good. So now you've got like a little cupping in that left wrist, and you can see one knuckle here on your left hand.
All right.
Okay? That's going to give you a good position with your left hand. Okay? You'll be able to control that face a lot more, and you'll be able to turn that face the way that you want instead of having to leave it open. Right?
All right.
So first things first, I want you to just kind of stand right on over here, kind of re-grip the club a couple times for me, and just kind of take a swing, not hitting a ball, but let's try to get used to that hand. It may cramp up just a little bit on us a little bit because it's new, right? Getting our hand in, so I'm going to kind of loosen that guy up. There we go. Over, there we go. Good. Now bring that guy on in. Bring that right hand on in.
Where am I interlocking? Here?
Interlocking right here with this guy. So we let this guy out just a little bit. This guy comes on in. There we go. Thumb on the side. There we go. Good. Okay. Just give me a couple swings like that. Just kind of give me a feel. Okay. Good. Go. Good. Give you two more here. Good. Good. Okay. Do you feel the difference of what
Yeah.
we're trying to do right there?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to take 6 balls, okay? And I want you to hit these 6 balls, okay? And try to get used to feeling what it's like at impact a little bit, okay?
All right.
Any questions right now, Dale?
No?
If you have any questions at any time, let me know, okay? Give me an honest assessment. How's that feeling for us?
Feels a little, like you said, I think a little more power.
Good.
Like, yeah.
Good. So you can feel a little bit more of the control
Yeah.
of the
With
club.
the left hand, yeah.
Good. Good. Okay. So now what we want to kind of do is we want to kind of work on a little bit of the wrist hinge like we kind of talked about a little bit. Try to get ourselves a little wrist set a little bit earlier. Okay. Go ahead and set up real quick like you would to a ball real quick, and I just want to kind of see a few things down the line here. Okay, yeah. So that's going to take a little time, right?
Yeah.
All right, getting used to that. Good. So go ahead and set up like you would to a ball. Good. So I'm going to get a little less knee flex out of you. There we go. There we go. Good. Now I'm getting a little bit more of a better angle here. Okay. A little less knee flex. Okay. That's going to help us with our hips rotating through. Okay.
Okay.
Good. So as we kind of go here, right, you can kind of see in the video that the hands kind of stay like this
Mm-hmm.
and not really much of a wrist hinge.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of do this. We're going to set the club just like this. Okay. Now I want you to just kind of feel like you're turning up to the top now for me. Okay. So keep this left arm just a little bit straighter for me. There you go. Good. Okay. So now we're getting a little bit more of a wrist hinge here, right? So what we're doing is we're creating this L, right? You can see right here.
Yeah.
All right. And now what we want to kind of do is we want to feel like as we come down here through, we want to create an L on the other side, just like that.
All right.
Allow your right foot to come through for me. There you go. Good. Okay. So that's going to be the second part of what we're going to kind of work on. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So once again, so I'm going to just feel like we get a wrist set right here. There you go. Good. Now just turn on up to the top for me. Good. Down and through. Good job. Okay. Let's try that again. That's a whole different feel for us, right?
Yeah.
There we go. Good.
So I'm coming up and I step like more like this.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So now we're starting to get a wrist hinge just over our
Yeah.
right foot a little
Yeah.
bit instead of it just kind of leading away.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Good. Good. Okay, left hand a little bit more over for me. All right.
We mean left over.
So you see your hands are getting into a weak position.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. Okay. There you go. Now bring that guy on in. Good. I'm going to kind of keep that club face straight for you. There you go. Good. As we kind of go here. All right. Boom. Good. Feel
Yeah.
where we're at right there. Now just up to the top. Turn up to the top. There you go. Good.
Let me just press here.
Good. There you go. Good. Good. Getting a feel for it. Good.
Still feels uncomfortable.
That's okay.
Not used to it.
Let's narrow up our stance just a little bit. Okay, so I want to make sure this guy is more perpendicular and this guy can be open a little bit. So he can kind of open. There you go. Good. Okay. There you go. Good. Left hand a little bit more on top. Feel it really strong. Yeah, there you go, like a motorcycle.
Yeah.
There you go, very good. There you go, good. Set up again for me. Good. Thumb's just gonna be on the side. There you go. There you go, okay. Good. Now give me a swing. Go. So you see how you got this left arm really extended up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so go ahead and set up again for me. Okay, good. So I'm going to get the club just a little bit back. There you go. Let your arm, there you go. There you go. Good. There you go. That's where we want to be. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay. Now once again, as we kind of come back here, all right, kind of give it a feel. There. I'm going to kind of control the club for you here, okay?
Oops.
No, that's okay. I'm going to control the club. Let's get a good feel for it. There you go. Feel how those forearms are rotating,
Mhm.
loose wrists. There you go.
I still feel odd when I'm coming up here, right?
Yep.
So I'm kind of bending my elbow.
We're not trying to bend the elbow. And here, let me kind of show you, let me kind of demonstrate what we're going to try to do here a little bit. Okay? So, what we want to kind of have the feeling of, right? This is the drill that I'm trying to get you to kind of do a little bit, right? Is kind of, we'll get the club up just like this, turn it off to the side, like that, okay? Now we've got basically our wrist hinge, and all we have to do now at this point is just rotate our shoulders up to the top. Okay?
Alright.
So that's where we want to kind of be right now. So we start to get this angle. You right now kind of go like this, and then you get it like just a little bit here, okay? Which is not a very strong position. Does that make sense a little bit? Okay.
I mean, it's tough when I've been doing this my whole life. And
Yeah, I mean, the big change for today is definitely going to be the grip.
Yeah.
You know, that's going to be the big one that we got to kind of focus on a little bit. Now, if we can get to the wrist hinge and the lateral sway would be great. Okay, good. So let me kind of do this for you so you can kind of swing. It's a little bit heavier, but it'll give you a good feel. Okay, so here we go. So let me get your hands in a good position. There we go, good. Bring this guy on in, just as so, okay? Now, not worried if we make contact with the ground, but let's just kind of swing that a couple times to get a feel for it, right, in our hands, okay? Feel what the weight of that club wants to do?
Yeah.
All right, you feel how you want to get that hinged up early so it doesn't drag behind you? Okay, good. All right, then you get control of the club face. Control of the club. There you go, good. All right. One sec. Slim right there. You're good. There you go, good. Good, good, good. There you go. Good. Good. Narrow up your stance just a little bit for me. There you go. Thank you. There you go. Now we're starting to brush the ground. One more for me, please. There you go. Now this thing should feel like a feather to us, right? All right. Big thing is feel that grip, okay? Feel where it's supposed to be. Okay, good. There you go, good. Very good. There you go, good. Yes, much better. Give me 3 more swings here, and then we're going to hit about 5 or 6 balls. Good. All right. Let's do 6 balls here, okay? Dale, any questions I can answer for you right now? Anything you're kind of thinking about?
No?
Okay, is it all making sense to you?
Yeah, it makes sense. It's just like I said, when you're programmed to do it all your life. And then,
Absolutely, it takes time, right?
Yeah.
So, right. So remember, the knees are not going to have so much flex in them. Okay. All right, we're going to have that left hand on top. Okay, and just feel like we're swinging that heavy club a little bit, right?
yeah.
Good. There we go, much better there. Much better.
That back swing again. You come up here and here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here, as you kind of go here, make sure that left hand's on top. It's starting to creep back. So this guy's always in a good position. There you go. Yep, yep. And this guy, come on in there. Good. Okay, so as we kind of go here with the stages, right? Feel like chop. right?
All right, this should be kind of straight, like right from here, right?
Yeah, so what I would kind of suggest here, right? This might be one way of kind of thinking about it, okay? When our hand gets over our right foot, I want the shaft parallel to the ground.
All right.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or at least the feeling of. Okay, so if you kind of go like this, here we go. Good. Good. There we go. Good. And now all we need to do is, now we've got our wrist set, we just need to turn up to the top for me. Good. Very good. Okay. So much better. Good job there. Okay, get that left hand in a strong position for me. There you go. Give me one more, please. Left hand in a good position. Good. How does that feel for you?
Yeah, that feels like more power.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we got that one out to a total of 110 with a 7-iron. Very good. Swing speed 58. Good. Let's take a look at this gentleman. Much better job with the wrist hinge. Good job on the follow through. Good work right there. Okay, so you can see that we're seeing a lot more of the left hand being more dominant in the swing down,
Yeah.
much more over, like what we were kind of talking about a little bit. Creating a hinge, coming through. Good work. Let's see how the sway is doing. Sway is not nearly as bad now. Okay?
Yeah.
Not to say we got rid of it. Okay? But we're starting to understand it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay?
What do you mean by sway? Like going too much?
Yes, so here, let's take a look here. Right? So I'm going to draw a nice big red line here for us. Okay, right here on our hips.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to get another player here for us to take a look at. Who's some of your favorites on the tour? Or do you catch?
Yeah, no, I watched the Open this week. I mean, Scheffler's pretty, or Rahm, yeah, Rahm's really good.
Yeah, I wish we had Scheffler.
Yeah.
I wish we had Scheffler in here. Alright, so I know that red line might be a little hard to see, just a little bit, but you've got one on your hip, we've got one on John's hip. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, better. Okay, you're working your right hip away from it a little bit, but if you kind of look at John here, he kind of goes into it and he creates just a little bit of space. Okay?
Space where?
Right here on his hip. So if I kind of put a, let me just kind of put a thing right here so you kind of see. So if I put this right here, I'm just going to kind of put it in my shoe. Okay. So imagine that being the line, okay, that we're kind of seeing with John Rahm and yourself, right? You're kind of going into that line a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. We want to kind of have that thing where it kind of turns like this.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm swaying my hips into it.
Correct, correct. So what I'm seeing is more what we call the Elvis,
Yeah.
right? Instead of this.
Okay.
Okay? So that's what I want us to kind of do to start off with to get a good feel for that. Okay? Is that I'm going to have you go ahead and get into your setup for me. Okay? Good. Okay. All right. Good. So now we're going to take the club, we're going to put it right here along our hips. Okay, good. Get into your posture for me. Good. Chest a little bit more over the ball. There you go. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our right hand, okay, and then we're going to push our right hip back. Better. Okay. But try to create some resistance. Okay. So here we go. Set up for me. Okay. I'm going to have chest over the ball just a little bit. So there you go. Good. Okay. Good. Turn. There you go. That's about all we need,
All right.
right?
So I was coming more
Correct.
instead of doing.
Correct. So we don't want to do this, okay? I don't want to just turn it all the way back. I want to feel like I'm kind of pushing it back. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay? So that's more the feeling that we want to kind of have with that right hip turning back behind us a little
Yeah.
bit. Okay? Now, I'm really going to give you the feel here. Hold on. I want you to go ahead and put your right foot up on there. Okay? Good. Now let's put that club right across our waistline again. Okay, good. All right, good. Chest over the ball a little bit. There you go. So we're going to get this. There you go. Good, good, good. Now just kind of push that back just a little bit. There you go. Feel that resistance there?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay. All right, so now you can feel how that right hip needs to kind of move a little bit better.
Yeah.
Right? Good. All right, so now I'm going to give you a good old-fashioned drill to work on here. Okay, so go ahead and put your foot back up on that cradle for me. Okay, we're going to take the club and we're going to put him on the ground here real quick. He's going to be a reference point for us. We're going to take this, put this right across your shoulders here. So I'm going to get this guy here, this guy over here. Go ahead and get into my posture for me. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to turn that alignment rod so it's parallel with the one on the ground. Correct. Feel what we're doing there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Once again. Good. So I'm going to take this guy on out. I think you got a good feel for that. So go ahead, put your foot over. There you go. Good. There you go. Good. I'll get this guy just a little bit there. All right. So what I want you to kind of feel when you do this a little bit for me, okay? Hold on. Right? Is I want you to go ahead, set up for me. Okay? I want you to have your shoulders pull your hips around. Does that make sense? Okay, go ahead. There you go. Good. Okay, good. All right. Okay. Now we're going to turn that left shoulder down just a little bit. So, no, you're good. You're good for the setup. There you go. You feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. All right, so I want you to kind of imagine. Okay. All right. I want you to imagine that you're turning that to the top of this. Good. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So do it slow and hold it for me. There you go. Okay, one more time for me. And hold it. Now I want you to tell me where you feel pressure in your feet.
Towards the front.
Of the right foot?
Yeah.
Okay, we want to try to get that to the heel.
All right.
Okay, and we want to feel a little bit of some pressure as you kind of turn again for me. And the inseam of our left foot there.
All right.
Okay. Once again.
So I should be more on my heel then. You want-
On the right side, yes, we want to have that being transferred closer to the heel, not towards the toe. Okay. All right, so hold it right there. Now, do you feel the tightness through the abdomen area and everything like that? Okay, that's what we call coiling. Right? So that now you've coiled your upper body against your lower body. Go ahead and release yourself. Right? We wouldn't want to sit there and have to sing a song in that position. Does that make sense? Okay, good. Good. So I'm going to take that on out. Does that kind of help you understand what your tilts and turns need to be a little bit?
Yep.
Okay. So that's going to help with our consistency a little bit. That's going to start helping with our low point, getting down a little bit better. Okay? As we kind of move forward. All right? Let's go ahead and do this now. Now that we've got a good idea. Okay. All right. Any questions right now, big guy? All right. So, here we go. All right. Just give yourself some kind of small swings here a little bit. Once again, focusing on that grip.
With the ball or without it?
Let's try with a ball, okay? Once again. Look at that, correct? Good, he's gonna be over. There we go, good, good. There we go. Good little angle right there. That's what we're looking for, good. Where's that thumb on that left hand? Is it on or off? No? Good. There we go. It's gonna feel different to you, but it's gonna be kind of more open. There we go. Good. Mm-hmm. Good. Mm-hmm. There you go. One more for me. Okay. Good. All right. Any questions right now?
No.
Okay. Let's keep on going, okay? So I'm going to kind of do this to you real quick. So go ahead and set up for me. Okay, go ahead and put your foot into there. There you go. Good. Move the ball back just a little bit for you. There you go. Okay. Left hand on top. Yep. Right hand underneath. There you go. Good. Very good. Okay. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and set up to where you like it to be. Okay, I'm going to kind of move it up just a little bit in our setup, just a smidge. Okay, and then I'm going to put this right here. Okay, what I want us to do is I want us to get the ball and get that out. Does that make sense?
Say that again.
So I want you to get the ball and the tee out of the ground. Okay, so we'd have to hit down on that, right?
All right.
Okay, good. Good. Okay.
So I was coming up too much. So
Yes.
follow through and keep it.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to do right now is get your angle of attack down a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have it before or kind of neutral, and with an iron, we definitely want to feel like we're hitting down on it. Does that make sense? Okay. So just getting you a feel for that. looking at some of the numbers here. Felt how you hit behind that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Go ahead, set on up, put foot up there. Good. Just a little bit forward. There you go. Good. Good. So go ahead and set up for me real quick. Okay. Yeah, like you normally would. There we go. Good. Now what I want you to kind of do here for me is I want you to take the club and point it straight out towards me. Okay. Is that closed or open?
Should be more like that.
So I like where your hands are at,
Yeah.
but we just want to kind of move the club.
Yeah.
Okay. So one, that's going to help keep it straighter.
Yeah.
One. Two, it's going to keep loft on the face. Once I start to close that thing, I've taken what's a 7-iron and made it to, 5-iron or 4-iron,
Yeah.
right? So making sure that we keep that face square, right? And this is a great way to check it, right? Now, I want you to keep it in that position, okay? We're going to put it on the ground, and to you, it's going to look like it's wide open. Does that make sense? Okay? Optical illusion. But go ahead and put it on down there just as so. Right? It probably seems wide open to you. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, but that's going to keep loft on the face and going to keep that thing square
So
towards.
I was more like that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There we go. Good.
And then the knees I should keep more straight or just a little bend to them?
We want to have the feeling like the kneecaps are just over our shoelaces.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Much better. All right, see how we're able to keep that closer to our target line?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. All right. What's that face doing, right? Always check that face. There we go. Left hand in a good strong position for me. Feel like it's over. Left hand. Yeah, there you go, right? Make sure that you can see one knuckle on that left hand, okay? Good. Very good.
You feel like more power to it, but
Good.
still I'll have to go out to the driving range and kind of
Yeah.
work it through.
The big thing is now, the big thing for you is that the ball's going a little bit to the right, but I think that's because we're so used to having the face closed,
Yeah.
right, to compensate for that.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, really what you do is you exacerbate the problem, right? Because if I hit something on the outside, it has a counter spin to it. So then it really starts going right. So
Yeah.
it's a crazy game, but the more I can get you to open it up and we start to swing in a little bit better manner, I'll be able to get you back more on that target line. Does that make
All right.
sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good swing right there. Yes, that's what we're looking for right there. Good swing. You feel a little loosey-goosey with the legs there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, left hand on top. Here we go. Look, face open. Or what it's going to feel like to you open. Good. go ahead and set up one more time for me again. Good. Good. All right. Now take that club and point it straight out towards me. All right. Better. Okay. So that's something that you're going to have to kind of work on when you're at the driving range, right? I'd probably every time before you swing, check to see what your face is, and make sure that it's nice and square, right? It's going to look open to you when you look down on it, okay? Let's try it again. There we go, good. Yep, perfect. Give me one more here, and let's take a look at this one on video. What do you say?
All right. Went to the right.
Okay. That seem a little bit off the toe?
Yeah. I'm getting that sway too. I'm not.
Mm-hmm. Camera as far as it being a little bit too far back in our setup. We'll take a look at that. Okay. But yeah, you can definitely see that you're getting kind of that sway.
Yeah.
You know, we want to have that right knee kind of feel like it's, you know, braced, right? Like we're turning into a post back over there, right? So imagine as you turn back there, trying to keep that right leg straighter, right?
Yeah.
You know, not locked, but straighter, right? Not so bent. Yep, yep, and then coming through. Okay. So one thing you can do here to help yourself out just a little bit here, once you get done with impact right here, allow your head to go.
All right.
Okay, I'm sure probably somewhere along the world you heard somebody say keep your eye on the ball.
Yeah.
It's terrible advice. It's terrible advice, right? You know, if I was throwing a pass or a ball or something like that, my head's got to move with my shoulders, right? So just like in the game of golf, you know, once we're through impact and we're through all that, allow your head to rotate. It's going to really help your lower back. Right? And that's going to help with your chest extension and all the way through. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. But the big thing I see here, at least for what's killing our consistency, is our lateral sway. Okay, so really want to kind of focus in on that for the next 10 minutes or so. Okay, do you see anything there that you'd like to kind of address, or something that you're like, hey?
Nah, I think that sway is a big thing too.
Correct. I would agree with that as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get the club across our chest again. Okay, I'm going to get you to put your foot up against that, really high up against it. Yep, there we go. Okay. Get this little thing right here. Okay. Probably put it a little bit out in the distance on me, just a little bit, so it seems
Push
further.
my shoulders in like that. Right?
All right, so there we go. Good. So I'm going to get this, and let me jump on in there and demonstrate real quick for you, so you're like, okay, now I've got a very clear picture of what he's talking about. Okay, so I'm going to take this, put this right on in here, put this right on in there. Okay, I'm going to take the club. I'm going to put the long end out towards the target end. I'm going to get into my posture. And what I want you to do is kind of turn to the top of this little seat here, bar seat. Okay? So we're going to get here, right? And I'm going to feel like, what I really want to try to feel like is I've got a pole running from the top of my head to the bottom of my keister, running right through me like a shish kebab.
All right.
Okay? So as I kind of go, I'm just going to have this left shoulder go down on me, right? Just kind of turning it down and around. Okay, and then having that right hip come back behind me. Once again, excuse me. All right. Okay. So you can see that the shaft is parallel to the one on the ground here, right? I'm kind of turning the butt of my club to the top of this thing right here. Okay. And that's really all I'm focusing on. Just getting that left shoulder to turn down and around, not trying to really worry about my hip. It'll happen naturally if I do this, right? So it's here, boom. Okay, does that make sense?
Yep.
All right. All right. So here, I'll grab this right here, arms crossed. Very Bend from the waist a little bit, okay? All right, do it slow, okay? Okay, so just feel like that left shoulder, yeah, there you go, okay? So I'm gonna try to do something here, go ahead, go. All right, so we want to feel like we're turning back behind us. There we go, okay? So we don't want to reverse pivot. There we go. So, hold up one sec. Bend a little bit more from the waist for me. There we go, good. Now I'm going to move you, okay? There you go.
Yeah.
You feel that?
Mhm.
Okay, once again. Bend a little bit more from the, yeah, there you go. Okay? There you go. You feel that?
Yeah.
Okay, much better. Mm-hmm. Okay, once again, this is a good position for us. There we go, good. All right, bend from the waist a little bit. Yep, chest over the ball. There you go, good. Now turn. Now a little bit too far up. There you go, good. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to kind of move you here. Good, bend from the waist for me. Good. And then kind of turn you here, okay? Feel that?
Mhm.
That's a big turn, isn't
Yeah.
it? Okay, once again. Good. Okay. Might be a little bit lower than that, but I'm fine with that, okay?
Yeah.
Just so you're getting the movement pattern. Good. Okay, once again. There you go. Good. Yeah, came a little bit over the top there. That's fine. There you go. Good. Good. Better. So once again, I'm going to kind of move you here just a little bit. Good, come on through. Good. Now, where do you feel your pressure at and everything? In your feet? Where do you
My
feel?
feet, kind of towards the back.
Okay. And do you feel a little pressure right in here?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you feel it right here through the core area?
Mhm.
Okay, that's what we're going for, okay? Yeah. Those are the feels that we got to kind of mimic. Good. Do it slow. Do it slow. There's no extra points if we do it quick
Yeah.
or anything like that, right? This is just a movement pattern so we get a feel for where we need to be. Good. There we go. Okay. There you go, better. Two more. Good. Again. Good. All right, let's jump on out of that. Do you have anything to drink or anything like that? Do you want to take
Yeah,
a break
I'm
for a
good.
sec? Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, next question I do need to ask you, are we feeling any pain or anything like that? Any discomfort with what we're
Nah.
trying to do?
Maybe tomorrow, but
Okay, okay. So what we're just trying to do, a little recap here before we move forward, right? Is that we're trying to get that left hand a little bit more on top,
Yeah.
right? So we can control that, right? Number two, trying to get our wrist hinge set just a little bit earlier, right? Not having our hands kind of move away from us, right? And the other is that we're trying to get our right hip now to turn back behind us in a good fashion instead of laterally moving to the side.
yeah.
Now, the other thing that we kind of discussed here a little bit too was making sure, right, that the club face is square. And that's by this leading edge right here, okay? So make sure that whenever I take my grip, that we've got that leading edge in a good spot. Now, what I would kind of do to help practice that a little bit, because it's definitely a feel that we're not used to, right? I would get like an old chunk of wood or something like that, or a corner of a wall or something like that, and what I would do is I would get the club face square to start off with, and then I would come in here and put my left hand on top, and then here. What you can kind of do is just kind of put the club right here to the side. See how that works?
Yeah.
And I put my left hand on there. Now I'm in a good position. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so yep, perfect. All right, hold on. So we get that guy just like this. Good. There you go. Now bring in that right hand. Okay, all right, and go ahead and put him in a good position that we would be. No, in the center now. Yeah, much better. Get your hands just a little bit back. There we go. Okay, good. Okay, see how now we've got a square club face?
Yeah.
Our hands are in a good position. Let me see where this thumb is. That thumb's got to be on the side of the shaft. There you go, good. Okay, that's a really handsome grip right there. Okay, that's a handsome setup.
Yeah.
Okay, the only thing I would change just a little bit is this. There you go. Now you got your shoulders square to your target line, not open. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's going to help us quite a bit right there. That's what we're looking for right there. Okay? Okay, so let's go through that again. Okay, so we get a good feel for that. Okay? Good. So, once again, kind of have our left hand in line with that. Okay, there you go. Good. Right? Get our grip on there. Right? Now I can just kind of take the club, put it on up, whatever works best for you. Good. And then get that to where that would feel like it's the center. Much better, much better, okay? So now we've got our hands in a good position. We got our face where it has the correct amount of loft, right? And now it's much more square to my target line
Yep.
than if I close that toe in, right? Now the other thing I would kind of do just a little bit, there you go. Just feel like your shoulders seem a little bit
Yeah.
closed, and it's going to be square for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good setup.
So the grip and then this
Mm-hmm.
is kind of the thing I have to really work on.
Yeah. So I, as
And
my
not-
old
and
coach
not
was,
swaying.
yeah. So as my old coach would tell me, so go ahead and it'd be like this. Yeah. Once I got here, it felt like chop,
Yeah.
right? And then now we can just kind of turn up to the top right there, down and through. Huh? Good. Let that right side come through for me. There you go. Good. 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 Okay. Now I do want to give you one drill, okay, before we break, to kind of help you with the higher clubs a little bit, to kind of help you understand what face rotation is a little bit, to
Yeah.
kind of help close that club face a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to put this impact bag in here real quick. Okay, let me jump on in there real quick and demonstrate real quick what we're going to do. Right. So if I'm having a real problem going to the right, okay, I think we're going to solve a lot of those with the grip per se, but I want you to kind of understand what we kind of do sometimes when the face is open, right? So if I'm open, right, that's going to go up to the right a little bit, okay? I want to kind of have a drill where I can kind of feel where my forearms rotate at the right time, right? So I get right about here where the ball will be right here in the center, bag's just slightly up the front here. I want to swing up to about right here, left arm parallel to the ground, and then I'm going to take the toe of this club and I'm going to put it into that bag. Okay, so this is an over rotation drill that will get us to really draw the ball, and then we start to work that back. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's here. Okay, once again, here, right? So you'll definitely feel the right arm taking over as it comes through. Does that make sense? All right, come on over here, big guy. Any questions?
No.
So I'll kind of help you out the first time here. Good. As we come on back here. Good. All right, and then as we come through. Feel that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's give that a chance, okay? Good. Again. Just out, just a little bit like that. You're good. You stay there. Good. Swing it out and put that toe in there. Good. Again. Okay. Make sure you got that left hand in a good position. There you go. Yeah, good.
That's what I got to work on the most. Is
Mm-hmm.
the grip.
There you go, good. One more time. Focus on that grip, make sure that left hand's on top. There you go, good. Turn the toe into the back for me, please. Good. Make yourself a break and pop over there, I like it.
Okay.
One more time, left hand on top for me, please. Not the right, left hand. Yep, there you go. There you go, perfect. Good. One more time for me, okay? I want to hear a little pop on that one. Okay, left hand on top, not the right hand. Right hand stays under. There you go. Where's that club face? There we go. We've got to take time with that. That's all. Okay, toe into the back for me. Good. Okay. Does that give you a good sensation of like what the forearms need to kind of do through impact, right?
Yeah.
It's not something where the forearms stay like this. Okay. The forearms get here and then they're going to rotate closed.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions,
Yeah.
big guy? Okay. So let's do this. Let's try to put these things together. All right. Hit a couple shots here, and then I want to kind of go back over what we talked about before we break for the day. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, big guy. So first and foremost, just focus on that grip a little bit. Okay. All right. And feel like you're turning that toe into the bag for me, please.
Man, get worse.
Oh. Slow it down just a bit.
Yeah.
It's okay. Take your time. There we go. Good. Hand on top. Good. There we go. Let's move it up in our setup just a bit for me. So I want you to move this way for me. I want to give that a chance, just a quick chance. Sit. Don't think of it too much. Left hand on top, good.
That one felt better.
Go, good. All right, give me two more here, my man. Left hand on top. All right, feel it in your fingers with your left hand. There you go, good. video, okay?
All right. Am I going back far enough or
So I'd like to see those arms up a little bit higher,
all right.
okay? So I'd like to see those arms up a little bit higher. The big issue that we do see here a little bit is that sway just a little
Yeah.
bit still, okay? We're gonna have to work on that just a little bit. You can see that right knee, right? That weight of that right knee is probably on the outside of our foot, right? We wanna feel it on the inside of our right foot right there.
Right.
So turning inside of that, okay? But yeah, if we could get our arms up just a little bit higher. So if you set up here again for me, real quick. There we go. Good. So as we kind of come back here, right? Move here. There. There. You feel we're up there?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we've got a chance of really letting that club drop down in there, right? So you're kind of getting like right here, and then you're kind of like stopping right here.
Yeah.
A little bit, right? So allow your arms, yeah. And I don't mind if this kind of breaks down just a little bit for us, okay? As long as it's not getting like
Yeah.
this. But as long as we get something like that, we've got a good action of getting down there.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me a couple swings like that, please, and just kind of feel like you're swinging a little bit more up to the top. Yeah, good. That's a much more bigger range of motion there. There you go. Good. Okay, so here we go. Once again, set up for me. Okay. Go ahead, swing. Okay, allow your head to release. Okay, once again. There you go, good, good. One more time for me, okay? There you go, okay?
All right.
All right, big thing is here, let's kind of walk through it all over again, okay? Let's talk about our grip. Okay, I'm gonna grab wherever the grip club is, here it is. All right, so I'm gonna have you grab this. Go ahead and put that down. We'll kind of come on over here, right here in the center. Okay, and let's just walk through the grip here, okay? All right, so I'm gonna stand right next to each other. So, in the fingers, okay? What I used to tell my juniors, shoot the gun, okay?
Alright.
Feel that pressure in the last three fingers,
Yeah.
okay? We're gonna take this, put it right here. The left thumb is always gonna be on the right side of the shaft, okay?
Okay.
All right, and then we're gonna take this guy and the fingers as well. Here's the piggy, here's the blanket, wrap that piggy in the blanket, okay, just as so, okay? Now, that's what we should have, right? I should be able to hinge that fairly easily with my left hand. I should feel the pad over top, right? And if I really want to get tricky, right, I should be able to put that pad and hold it with one finger. Okay, that might be a little too advanced, but that's where we want to kind of feel those pressure points at. Okay, now that's going to be the first thing for us. Okay, second thing is, as far as grip and everything goes, is that we need to make sure, I'm going to kind of give you this guy. Okay, we need to make sure that when we grip the club, okay, that we keep the face square. So come on over here and let's do that drill, right? So make sure you feel like your left hand's in line with it, just like this. Okay, there you go, good, right? Now make sure that left hand kind of gets on top, just as so. Yeah, there you go, okay? Now we just kind of take that thing up, bring our right hand in. There you go, okay? Now let's bring it on down here and check. Yeah. All right, so you're gonna have to learn to keep the hands back, club face open. Does that make sense a little bit? Okay, because you seem to want to just get that thing forward right there, right? So once again, good. Bring this guy out for me. Okay. There you go. Okay. So you can see that this V is now pointing up towards your chin.
All right.
Okay, that's where we want it to be, and you can see one knuckle right here. Now once I bring that right hand on in, good. Okay, that's where we want to be.
All right.
Okay, let's do it one more time here, okay? So in the fingers, over top, very good. in we go, okay? So a little cupping in this left wrist right here. This V is going to be pointing up towards your chin, okay? And you're going to see one knuckle here, or at least some part of your logo strap
All
here.
right.
There you go, okay? Now you can definitely see that one knuckle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's where we want to be. Now the other thing is, always remember that thumb's going to be on the side of the shaft. Don't get it stuck back here
Right.
behind you, okay? There we go. Good, okay? That's going to be big for you right there, okay? That's big.
Yeah, that's the biggest adjustment.
Correct, right? Because it's the only thing that connects us to the ball through the club, right? Is that
Yeah.
grip, right? So we've got to make sure that gets corrected, okay? So that's good, okay? Yeah. There you go. Good. Mm-hmm. Good. You feel how now you kind of feel like you're turning more around a pivot point, then
Yeah.
kind of sliding a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's the feeling that we want to have. I really want you to kind of remember that I want to feel like I've got a pole running from my head to my rear end and I'm turning around that pole. Okay? Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah. Right now you're turning around your spine. Okay?
All right, I gotta work on that.
All right, so last but not least, right, we were working on our lateral slide a little bit. Okay. All right, we can get ourselves like an old thing at Riley's Auto Parts or something like that, or just get your, foot up against a wall if you want. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, right? But really what this does is it helps cradle that right hip, making sure that it doesn't go to the side,
Yeah.
right? It makes sure that it pulls back a little bit. So I would get a couple objects, maybe an impact bag or whatever, and put something up there just as so, some kind of reference point down on the ground, right? Get myself here. And then I would just kind of get the long end to turn to the top of whatever object I have here. It's probably going to be anywhere from 3 to 5 feet up,
Right.
a few feet out, and then just kind of turning down and through. Okay, you can see that my shoulders turn to about 90 degrees. Kind of goes down to about a 45.
Yeah.
Once you agree.
Yeah.
Okay. But the big thing is you'll see that this right hip, it doesn't need to get a lot of movement. It just needs to get turned down and it's going
Yeah.
to pull back behind us, right? Okay. So jump on in that little wedge for me, please. There you go. Good. All right. Good. Now I'm going to kind of do this real quick so make sure we get it on our shoulders. There you go. Okay, good. Yep. Yep. Good. So now you probably feel, okay, Dale?
Yeah.
You probably feel like here's my wallet pocket
Yeah.
going towards the target, okay? Not away from the target,
All right.
okay?
Yeah.
So remember, wallet pocket going towards the target, right? My money's going towards
Yeah.
the target, right? Does
All
that
right.
make sense? Okay. Now the other thing that we kind of touched on just a little bit was face angle. Always check with that, okay? And the other thing to kind of help you out just a little bit, right? And it took you a little time, but you start to get a feeling with the impact bag of the forearms rotating and turning through.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what we want to kind of go for right there. All right, good. There you go. And don't be
Yeah,
afraid to turn up to the top, right?
Yeah, because I think that's what I do a lot is, as I'm coming through, I'm like that instead of
Yeah.
hitting.
So, I mean, if we look at the golf club, right? So watch me kind of do this, right? See how it kind of moves?
Yeah.
Face opens, face closes a little bit. That's
Yeah.
how this tool wants to be used, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't want to be used just like this, right? It doesn't go straight back, straight through. There is definitely some rotation with the face as it moves through, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's how that tool wants to be implemented, right? So remember, there is going to be some face rotation down here at the bottom, forearm rotation and closing the face just a little bit. Just want you to be aware of that.
All right.
Okay? What questions do you have for me today, my
Yeah,
man?
I think those are the main thing. The grip and then not swaying is probably my two main things.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So a word of advice I would say for the swaying, maybe this would help you out a little bit too, it did for me as a kid. Right, if I get into my posture and I was going to start lawnmower, right? You can't tell the new kids that
Yeah,
because it's all
right.
push start now. But you remember you had the old string,
Yeah.
right? And you'd have to, you'd have to get all your right
Yeah.
side moving back behind there, right?
Yeah.
That's really that motion that we're trying to go for right there. We're trying to feel like everything on the right side is pushing back and up,
Yeah,
right? And we don't want to we wouldn't start a lawnmower like this,
right.
right? So remember, if I got my hands just like this and turned, that's going to be the feeling. So I'm going to let you do that real quick. So put your arms out in front of you real quick. All right, feel like you're starting a lawnmower. There you go. Feel how that relates to what we're
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm always going like that too much.
Right, nobody's going to start a
Yeah.
lawnmower that way,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah, this will help me a lot. Like
Okay.
I said, I gotta put it in practice now.
Absolutely. We got to kind of put it in practice and all that good stuff. But do we have any questions before we
No.
break for today?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I
Yeah.
think the big thing is going to be the grip.
Yeah,
Okay, making sure that we do that, right? Do your tilt and turns drills, right? Make sure that you feel where you're getting into right there, okay? And then if you've got like, an old extra bag or something laying around, get yourself an impact bag. We don't have to do the toe into the bag drill, but I can tell you just if we don't have a real place to hit, just kind of getting here and getting into impact is always a good position, right? Our
Yeah.
body starts to get used to where it needs to be as we turn out of this.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
sounds good.
Okay. Any questions?
no, I appreciate it. I might do another lesson here and
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me know. We videotape this, so I'm
Yeah.
going to send it your way. If you have any questions, you let me know.
all right, I appreciate it.
It's great
All right,
seeing you.
yeah.
Great meeting you.
Yeah.